activities that I am participating in this month, Scraptember. And what is Scraptember? It is a prompt, a different prompt by the Scrappy Sisters and Laura Alberts, and I'll have their information linked below, each day to get us scrapbooking. Today's prompt is family, and that is why I chose these photos of my family. These are my 3 girls and my husband, and we did a run, well, and some of us did a walk, or most of us did a walk, on Thanksgiving 2022. And I am wanting to talk a little bit about how I chose things, why I'm doing this and that and the other, and using a sketch. So if you are a veteran to scrapbooking, you could stick around. You might pick up some pieces, but if you're new to scrapbooking, this might help you know kind of how I think about putting a page together. So first of all, family, I like to put several pictures on a page if I'm able to. It prevents me having too many albums at the end of the year. Now, that being said, some people are really good at just using one album every year. I don't keep track of how many albums I do, and I just have fun with this, and I record my memories, and so I have a lot of albums. I would guess 20, but I would have to count them and get back to you later because I really don't know. I have bookshelves just for my albums, and the girls do enjoy going back and looking at them. So what I did was I picked out these 3. It could, because they're all the family. You will see more layouts the rest of this month with Jillian and I walked together, Eliza and Meredith walked together, and Daryl ran. So I have different pictures in there. But these, I grabbed out the 3 I have of everybody together. These are both before the race. This is after the race. I am totally okay with that. And then I went to Pinterest. And you can put many different, obviously, searches into Pinterest, right? You can put scrapbook layout page. You can put sketch for a layout for a scrapbook. This time, and I often will put 3 photo sketch, and that brings me up a lot of options. This time I went a step further and said 3 horizontal photos, and that is how I found this one. This one is from Cheryl Even, and it's evenmorescrappingblogspot.com. And I often like a sketch that has the measurements on it. And you don't need to use the measurements, but it does give it to you for an idea. And you can pick any part of the layout, all of the layout. In fact, I'm going to show you. This was not my first piece of paper that I was going to use. Let me see if I can find quickly the different piece of paper. Oh, here it is. So I originally thought, can I use this? Because if you look, these 3 photos will fit well over here. And then we have these 3 by 3.5 pieces. And I could use these. And you would still, I would skip the tag part to go over here so that you could see the trees. However, this is a pretty busy background with all the colors going on, and that's how I ruled out that background. So you can see, and I could have used different colors. I could have used more of the pastel light ones, which I probably would have done. But by bringing it to this more solid, or reads as a solid background, it's just not so busy and overwhelming. So this is from A Perfect Autumn by Echo Park. And I have to check to see the cut-aparts, and I'll show you. It's also by A Perfect Autumn by Echo Park. So I had 2 of these, and I got the fall out of the other one and this piece out of the other one. I had to steal the middle piece. When I went to figure out which ones do I want, this is cut down. These are 3 by 4, and so a 1/2 inch had to come off the bottom, which several of these you could do that, right? This one, it was easy. That part of that brown piece came off. but you could take a little bit from here, a little bit from there. But I already had these cut out, so that's, and I liked those. And then I went for the journaling tag, and that was easy just to take a little bit off the bottom from there. And that is why I picked those. This was a scrap piece of paper, and it's probably from a different collection. Let me look. But I did take this from the same collection. And so I took an inch off of there. That looks like it's from the same collection. So, and which makes sense because it's got those same colors in, right? Okay. So from there, I took two pieces that had all these different colors in. And I didn't pick ones that had the same color or same size pattern, because it would have been, again, a little bit too confusing to the eye, as I would have taken both of these. They're just the same size. It's just not interesting. You could do it if you really like, but I stayed away from that. So I went with the plaid and with the circle. Now, the next thing to look at is, for me, is embellishments. And actually, if you look at the, oh, here's another thing. So you could look at the sketch. They did a title with journaling. They have a 3x4 tag, the 3x4 tag. Well, 3x3.5. The way I picked these out, I have my title up there. I will have my journaling. This is really meant, you can see, to go sideways, right? The only thing that really tells me when I look at it this right now that is I'm using it up and down when it was meant sideways is that little acorn. And I'm going to find some kind of embellishment or something just to go over the top of that. It would not need that. You can have a sideways acorn. There's nothing wrong with that, but just it's more pleasing to my eye if I cover that up with something going a different direction. You can see in the sketch that there are 3 clusters, which can be as big or as little as you want. You don't have to do them at all. There's one here, one down here, which, you know what, I might move that one just because, well, this would be my cluster. So that could be my 3rd cluster. I like that idea. And then one over here. And again, you can change them around. Maybe I want, because I have more space up on top, I'll probably do my cluster up here rather than down here. You can do clusters near things to bring more attention to them. And then you can leave your layout like this, or you can go an extra step and put some, probably splatters is the next step I would do, and do some splatters just to give it some interest. So I will talk more about this as I go along, but let's get scrapping. My first order of business is to take that strip off the bottom. I don't know why I would have said 20 albums. I certainly did not think I had 85, but if I'm scrapbooking 23 years and I make, I figured about 3 a year. It actually turned out to be 3.5 a year, which makes sense too. Okay, that being said, here we go. So just gluing things down now. I already know where everything is going, so that makes this very easy. I end up always taking not too much, just enough time to get things straight. I do grab my ruler out. I do eyeball these cards first and stick them in, and then I use my ruler to line up the pictures, and I think that turned out good. But it obviously could be a little faster if I wasn't so tedious with it, but that's what I enjoy and what I like doing. So there you go. I have to let you in on a little secret. So after all the final photos are taken and everything, I actually found more pictures and removed the bottom photo, because then I'll have like before pictures and after pictures. So you will see that bottom picture in another layout coming up. But so I'm not perfect, and I glad to find those pictures now rather than, I don't know, later. So it was an easy fix anyway. So there's that. And here's my ruler. It's a Fisker's ruler, and it works really good because I like it because it's longer than 12 inches. So it goes over the length of the layout. And then also it has all those lines going across. So you really can line up things super easy without even having a T-square. So I do have T-squares, but I think this might be my favorite ruler. Easy to use. And there they are. And then I'm going to go on with the embellishments. That round sticker says falls in the air. And then I grab off the word thankful, as well as like all the rest of the sticker, leaf stickers. So I use the rest of those up on the page. I think that's what I'm grabbing off now. Oh, and an acorn sticker. And first, of course, I look to see, does that work if I put it over that acorn that's going the direction I don't want it to go? And I didn't use it there. And I do start to make a cluster on the top. I want to fit that thankful in somewhere. And I'm just not sure where. And I'm not sure that I want to cover up too much of the journaling black. So I move my stickers around. I do that top cluster. I apologize. I'm a little off screen there. I will bring that down. But I get the that 3x4 card kind of tucked in better. And then it makes for like a natural like cluster right there. So that's where I end up using the acorn. And then I do use my black. I don't have wax paper handy, so I lightly put down the stickers on the acrylic black. And I had saved just pieces that I had cut off when I trimmed the paper and the cards and stuff, and I saved those, and I used the opposite side to layer here, and made a banner next to my cluster, and that worked pretty good. And so then I add some leaves on either side of the acorn, and then I proceed to put leaves on the other clusters as well. Oh, and then I've got these jeweled, and I'm not sure where these are from, but they're just little gems, and they're quite bright and shiny. And I put like a black one, a clear one, and a gray one in each cluster, just for a little something something. And they're little and hard to handle, so I got out my my tool from Cricut. It's the weeding tool, and I could pick those up better and move them around than using my big fingers, so that worked pretty slick. They still get away from me a little bit. Down below you will find the playlist for Scraptember, where everyone links up their videos, so you can just press play on the playlist and watch through everyone that's put their video up there. It's quite fun. Today is day 1. We will be playing along all month long. I hope to have a video up every day. I think that's a great expectation, a great goal to have. I'm just not promising. Here I stick another leaf in there. I want to use them all. And I think there was a little spot it could have used one, so I put that. And then this spot gets a leaf, and then the thankful goes on the bottom. I do come in with my, I get more of those sparkly gems on there. And then I will come in with some white splatter to finish this up. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching with me until the end. It's been fun. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. I just took the back of that sticker sheet to so I wouldn't get any splatter on my table. And then I just grabbed some packaging to cover up my photos. And I think I did about three areas to put the splatter on. And called it a day. And that is it. So I really like the way those splatters turned out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon.